field some questions.
First of all, it's really good that this game happened. I know when I first got the job here at Mississippi State, Porter contacted me about doing this, and it's a shame that I really didn't know anything about the game of change, and I think a lot of people outside of Mississippi State and Loyola are not familiar with that game, and I think it's a significant step in NCAA history of basketball. And then you talk about the one thing, usually Mississippi has a lot of negative connotations when it comes to race relations, and to see something like this where it's such a positive thing in regards to race relations in Mississippi, and particularly our university, I think it's something that should be promoted and a lot of people should know. Beyond that, just talking about the game, I guess overtimes have been good to Mississippi State here this week. Obviously, we would like not to be in those situations, but when you get in there and you get a win for both football and basketball, it is a good thing. So I'm really happy with the way Andre Applewhite came in there in the stretch there and played defense and didn't try to go outside himself on the offensive end and really did a good job on the defensive end for us. But when it came down to it, I think why you guys can see why we keep going to Montgomery, Alabama, and Carver High School and recruiting, because between those two guys, it gave us 44 points, so that's always a good thing.
Talk about Quez stepping up, Rock stepping up with Gavin not having one better game.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Rock Quez, when he plays with that much energy, he's always a huge help. And then when he's going to score like that, it's an added bonus. They're a smaller team inside, so we thought we could kind of get some buckets inside. We thought we could get them from Gavin. We thought we'd get them from Colin. And we thought we'd get them from Raquez too. So, but he did a really good job of forcing the issue in the paint and posting up hard, and we got him the ball. I thought they surrounded Gavin a lot when he got the ball, but Quez is such a kind of a shifty dude in there that even though they were double teaming at times, he was able to split that double team and still get to the rim.
Thoughts on Craig kind of just taking over there when you needed him the most and kind of did what he does best on the offensive end?
Yeah. Well, obviously he's really good off that ball screen. He's just such an explosive athlete. And that one he caught in the corner, I mean, he got it. He was at the rim dunking it before I could even blink. So it was really, really impressive what he did on the offensive end. And that's what we need Chicken to do. We need him to be a guy who can create offense, not just for himself, but for others. And I think Tyson Cunningham came in and hit 2 huge threes. And we struggled from the three-point line, but I think we took contested threes at times rather than wide-open threes. And I thought Tyson's threes were wide open and shots that he should take. But Chicken is such a phenomenal athlete, and he can get to the rim like that. It really causes the other team problems. So they have to make a choice. Do they shrink their defense and just kind of pack it in and give up those open looks to other guys? Or do they just try to take away some of those open looks and then open up the lane? And when you open up the lane, he's really hard to guard.
I think when you first got here, you said that you felt like Craig could drive in on just about anybody in the country, but it's just kind of teaching him what to do when he gets to the rim. And in the overtime, he got the dunk on the baseline and then came down and got the three-point play. Do you kind of see him developing as far as driving to the basket goes?
Yeah, and I think what we're doing offensively has helped him out. And that's something I thought philosophically that I had to do. I thought we were a motion-based offense and were a lot of screens off the ball, and I thought we had to change some things. We were screening on the ball to give people like Craig an opportunity. I think IJ will flourish that way too because he can attack the lane as well. I think the biggest thing which you referenced to is decision making. Once Chicken comes off those ball screens and once he attacks into the paint, I think he's such a better person as far as like the decision making process once he gets to the rim now.
With Fred missing the 2 free throws and then coming down on the next possession and blocking the shot and staying on his man, is that something he could have done last year, or is he better equipped not to lose his focus and not worry about those free throws?
Yeah, I think Fred would have probably been off somewhere else in the corner. His man had been back cutting for the layup or something like that last year. But it shows some resolve on his part. Obviously, we'd like for him to make those free throws because I do think he's a good shooter. And I think we missed 9 of our last 14 free throws. We were 12 or 14 from the free throw line beforehand. So, you got to make those free throws down the stretch. But it was good on Fred's part. He kind of kept his head into the game and didn't live in that moment with the free throws and moved on past it.
You mentioned Tyson, but he gets that hustle play on that steal and then that 3. Did you kind of feel like that was the momentum shift in that second half for you?
Well, I don't know for sure. I thought one thing that I know for sure was a momentum shift was when we went to the 1-3-1 zone, and I thought it gave us some energy. Now, you'd like not to have to change defenses or manufacture, energy, but I thought we had some success in the 13, that 1-3-1 zone, and then we started getting some things out in transition, but then they started to figure out the 1-3-1 zone and got some open looks. And, I told our guys that 1-3-1 zone can't be an elixir. It can't just be, we're going to go to a 1-3-1 zone that'll solve all our problems. At the end of the day, you still got to defend man to man.
But from a I guess energy standpoint, did Tyson give you pretty much what you wanted tonight?
Yeah, anytime I think Tyson makes open shots. I don't think Tyson's the type of guy that can manufacture shots, but I think when Chicken has things going to the rim, when Gavin's getting the ball down post and getting double teamed, that I think he's a guy that makes open shots. And really, the reason why Tyson makes open shots is because he's in the gym all the time. He's by far, without a question, the guy who's in the gym the most from our team.
Rick, when you look at the 29 points in the first half, 27 in the second half, and then 9-8 in overtime, 20, I think, lead changes, what can a game kind of do this, and when you come out on top? Like, what can kind of do for the experience of a young team like you have?
Well, I think it can do two things. I think one is it gives your guys a confidence that they can kind of grind out a win. Sometimes guys want to live easy, especially when you're playing some of these non-conference opponents. I think they have expectations of it being an easy game or having a big lead and it being something that doesn't work out that way. And then the second thing I think it does is it shows that you can get some things as far as execution done in the stretch when it matters, like when you draw up a set play or when you're trying to do something defensively. So, those two things I think is a result of playing in those close ball games.
Were you happy the way the team kind of started the game? We talked last week about how maybe didn't start the best. Were you happy the way the team went this week?
Not particularly. I still think that we're just playing slow on the offensive end, trying to figure some things out. I like for us. I think we run hard in transition, but I think once we get in the half-court set, we're really stagnant. We got to figure out a way to just continue to move the ball and be a lot more crisp in our motion offense on that end.
Gail, off of Paul's point, you play 45 minutes of basketball and we give it up 9 times. Javante plays 39 minutes and doesn't have a turnover. Could either one of those things have happened last year?
No way. Yeah, no way. An extra session there of overtime would have just meant 5 to 10 turnovers more for us. So, no, I'm really happy with the way our guys didn't turn the basketball over. But I told our guys before the game started, Loyola doesn't particularly press or get in the passing lanes or not aggressive man-to-man defensive team. So there's really no reason for us to turn the basketball over. Our turnovers should be unforced turnovers if you have any, because I don't think they do anything pressure-wise that make you turn the ball over.
What have you seen from Gavin in the last 2 games, 4 points?
Well, one is foul trouble. When he gets himself in foul trouble, he can't be out there. So I think he only played 7 minutes in the first half. So you can't be productive in 7 minutes of basketball. But the other thing is he's got to figure out a way to get the ball on the post at an angle so he doesn't have to worry about the double team. I think what happens now is he doesn't have any seals or angles when he gets the basketball, and now he has to make a post move. And that means he has to dribble. And once he has to make a post move or dribble, that allows the secondary defender to come over and help, and we got to eliminate that.